So hi all, welcome to CodeML, and today is the topic for today is the interview cracker series for date 3, and I have chosen few of the scenarios from like various interview scenarios are I have presented with the help of uh, programs. So I have covered those scenarios where I have already discussed with the help of my lecture series. All those things are I have already covered in my previous lectures. So I have not used any advanced functions or some different method which I have not talked about till my lectures till today. So here I have talked, I have like chosen those topics where I was asked the questions from if-else statement, and then some kind of loops where it was being used. So that kind of scenarios and some pattern printing, that also I have discussed. So these are a few of the programs. So today I have taken 5 programs and we'll start with today's lecture. So okay, our first program is like it's a if else conditional statement program where based on some certain logic and getting an input from user, we are typing different print statement. So let's check that what is the question first. So the question was, it's like we have to check from the user about the weather, that whether it is raining outside, and we need to convert the response to the lower case. So this is our first condition. Then the second is if they answer yes, if suppose they answer yes, and before that I need to like tell you that like this is, we in Python program we refer it as a doc string. Doc string means like it's a kind of a multi-line comment, you can say, which will describe about the functionality of the program or the function or the whole class. So after we define a class, if we need to uh, like present a more readable code, so we write uh, a doc string which will tell us about the functionality of the code written below. Okay, so here I have used this doc string to write the details which I have like programmed over here. So these lines of code details are the part of this scenario. Okay, so first, if it is raining, and convert their answer to the lower case, and it should not matter whatever case they type in, but the answer should be converted to the lower case. So this was our first requirement. Then if they type the answer yes, we should again ask a second question, that if the weather outside is windy, if the answer is yes, the output should be printed as it is too windy for an umbrella. Otherwise the message should be printed as take an umbrella. Why? Because it's not too much windy outside. Okay, and if they do not answer to our first question, that means our first question, that is like whether it is raining, and then you should so the answer should be displayed as enjoy your day. Okay, so let's check what we have written in these lines of code. So firstly I am taking I've used an input function to collect the user's name. Okay, so response is our variable where the name value would be stored, what will be entered by the user. Okay, I have just printed hello plus the concatenation operator with the response variable, the value which is coming from this variable. Okay, then after that what I'm doing is, again I'm taking with the use of input function. See, this is the dot format method, and whatever value I have written inside this parenthesis, it will actually placed over here in the empty curly braces. So this is a dot format convention. You can find in my previous lectures I have talked about dot format function. Okay, so hey, and the response value will be printed over here, that is the user's name. Suppose my name is Rahul, so it will be printed as hey Rahul. Why? Because I will be entering my name over here as Rahul. It will first print hello Rahul, and then in the second line when I'm asking the question that okay whether it is raining out there, so it will print as hey Rahul whether it is raining out there or not. Okay, so if I respond and see, if I even write in capital letters, I will show you that also. If I write in capital letters as yes, what it will do, it will take my response, convert to this lowercase method. By using this lower method, it will convert it into a lowercase. Okay, if it is yes, then again I'm asking in question with the help of input function, again the dot format, and this is our second requirement, that is we need to check that okay whether it is windy outside. If the answer to this question is also yes, I'm again converting using the dot lower method to convert the response to lowercase, checking this is our assignment like equals operator, not an assignment operator. So this is an equal operator, whether it will check that okay if yes is equal to yes, then this block will be true, and the condition under it, that is the statement under it, would be printed, or else this statement would be printed. And finally, if we are not responding to any of these questions, it will go to this else block and it will say just print enjoy your day. So I hope you would be clear with this program. I am just doing a shift enter and I will show you how it works. Okay. So firstly, I will enter my name, Rahul. Hello, Rahul. See, so this after entering my name, it just printed hello and Rahul over here. Now it is taking me to this question. That is, this is the line where it had the Python interpreter is going and it is asking for this question. Why? Because here input function is used. So over here I will write in capital letters yes, and we'll check that what is the output. Okay. See, after this, I input the answer in capital letters, but it converted into yes, and it went inside. After getting it true, it went inside this block. Okay. And here it asked, the interpreter asked me the question that okay whether it is windy outside. Now I will type like in capitalized case yes. As soon as I typed yes, it printed the statement inside it. Why? Because it just said that okay the response was yes equal to yes, it is too windy for an umbrella. Again I will check within another scenario. Here I am doing a shift enter, I am not entering anything. Let's check what is the output. See, okay, so here it is asking me for I have not entered any name. Okay, if suppose, and even it has given me an space over here. Okay, so now if I write like this, and here we write 1 minute. So guys, yeah, so here when I'm not entering any name, it is just taking it as a blank space like this. Okay, so it has not taken any value in this response variable, and here it is also showing it as a blank. But if suppose my condition was that if suppose I don't answer the question, that is whether it is reading out there, I am just pressing enter, it has taken me to the last block, that is enjoy your day. Okay, so this was the last requirement, which it was telling that okay if you don't answer a yes to the first question, that is this question, if you don't reply it as a yes, then you should display the answer enjoy your day. Okay, so this was it. I hope you are clear with our first scenario. Okay, and you can go ahead and check on your own with the help of no condition or blank condition for other test cases as well. Okay, so this I will leave it to you guys. Now scenario number two is we are taking a color input from our user, and it's independent of whatever case, that is the lower case or upper case you should use for getting it as an input. But if you are getting the color like red in an input, so you should the message should be displayed as I like red too. Otherwise the message should be displayed as I don't like and your color what you have written. Okay, and you should write I prefer red. Okay, so this is our variable your color, where we are taking an input from the user itself. Okay, using an input function. And then what we are doing is I am again converting our response to lowercase, and I am checking for that whether that response is equal to red or not, that string is matching or not. If it is matching, then you will be printing the same statement, that is I like red too. Else what you'll be printing, here I have written like this, that okay I don't like the color which I'll which will be inserting our value using a format function. So this is our your color, and capitalize is a method which will like converts the first alphabet of your word into uppercase. So capitalize will what it will do is, suppose you are writing hello in lowercase, so only H would be converted to uppercase, and rest all the words would be in the lowercase. So this is the use of capitalize. So here I am doing a shift enter and I will show you how it works. So suppose I enter over here blue like this. So see, my all the characters are alphabets are in lowercase, and see what's the output. See, the output came like this. I don't like blue, and here blue is capitalized. Why? Because I have used this method capitalize. It converts the first character alphabet of the word to uppercase. So here it got converted to capital B, and then this is the output. Okay. If suppose I would have entered red, let's see what would have come. It came I like red too. So this was one more example of if else conditional statement. These type of if else block you would be most oftenly writing for checking some of the scenarios or some of the requirements before inserting the data into the database, or converting the data from one type of format to other type of format. So for those type of scenarios in a real time in our dev environment or test environment, since most of the developers write the code in development environment, hence you will be writing these type of conditional checks in our dev environment. Okay, so this was scenario number 2. Coming on to scenario number 3. This is that type of question in which was asked for like many of the freshers, and even for some of the experienced candidate. This type of question was asked in many of the MNC companies for Python developer interview. So I have taken up this also. So here it has like the question description is like Pig Latin takes the first alphabet of a word. See, Pig Latin is a kind of notation in which a word is coded and converted to a different notation altogether. Okay, so I have taken some example. Okay, so that what should be done if suppose there is a word pig, like this is a word. So in Pig Latin notation, what it will be checking is the first alphabet of the word. If that first alphabet of the word is a vowel, then way will be added. You will be adding way to the end if it begins with a vowel. But if it begins with another than vowel, that is consonant, then like suppose in the case of banana, then what should you be doing is for converting it into Big Latin, you will be taking up this first number, placing it at the last, and after that you will be also adding ay to it. That is this. So this was the condition. The first alphabet of that word, that is the consonant, would be taken away from the first position of the word and will be added at last with ay. That means you will be concatenating it in the terms of Python language. Okay, and the new word should be displayed in lowercase. So this was the kind of multi-logic requirement over here in the scenario 3, and we will discuss about that. Okay, so what I have done, I'll be showing you line by line. Here I am taking an input, like entering you like asking from the user to enter the word which needs to be converted into Pig Latin code. Okay, so like storing it under st variable, and this is our list which contains all the vowels, that is a, e, I, o, u. Okay, so this is the list created. You can notice this is the square brackets for creating a list. Now what we are doing is, see, we are checking for the first alphabet of the string entered, that is st dot lower. First of all, what we are doing is we are converting the string into lowercase. See, if you are entering the input into uppercase, lowercase, we are not knowing that. Okay, the Python interpreter is not knowing that. So in all such cases, what it will be done is it will be converting the input string into lowercase, and we are checking for the first index. That is, an index in Python starts from 0. Hence, we are checking for the first alphabet, that is through index. And if it is under the vowel list, that is, if it is matching with the vowel list, we are simply entering like this: print st dot lower. Why? Because this was our condition for if the word begins with vowel. So if it is under vowel, then we'll be just simply writing the word and concatenating way with it. So this condition will be true, that is this condition will be true, apple way. And now for the else block, what would be, suppose if it is a consonant and not a vowel at the first place, then what it should do, we are taking from the first index, that is we are omitting out the 0th index position, and we are slicing and indexing from first position till the last of that string, and we are concatenating what, then we are concatenating the first word, the first alphabet, that is the 0th index, and then ay at last is concatenated. So using this way, using this piece of code, we are converting any word into a Pig Latin notation. So all these examples I will be just showing you in a while with the help of executing it over here itself, right here itself. Shift enter. I'm writing the word, suppose Rahul over here. You can see R has taken out. Why? Because it is a consonant, so it has just been taken out AHUL first, and then R is converted to lowercase, and AY is concatenated. So this was the condition for the else block. Now I will be again doing a shift enter, and I will show you with the help of apple. Now you can see again we got the output as apple way. In this case, since the word is starting with the alphabet as a vowel, hence this if block condition will be true. This if block condition will be true since A is under vowel list, and hence it will print the statement inside. So here what will be printing? The total input word converted into lowercase plus the concatenated word way. So I hope you are clear with this requirement also. Coming on to our next requirement, we need to like many of the times you will get a question to print a pattern like star pattern. So here I've discussed two methods for printing this pattern. Okay. So what I have done is, first method is, what I've done is, for a simple reason, I will be firstly commenting this code so that I can show you method by method. Okay, so here what I've simply done is, see at the end what matters is like how many kind of different scenarios, or what is the approach behind like writing a program whenever you are going for an interview. So here I have discussed two methods. You can opt any one which you like. Okay, so see, I am seeing I have already counted it. Okay, how many number of stars are present. From 1 it is going until maximum 5, and then again it is decreasing till 1. So I have taken this into these values into a list, and for that many number of times I can multiply. So you know that even strings also work with multiplication operator. Okay, and that many number of times, if you multiply suppose a into 5, then 5 times, that is a will be printed. Okay, so this was just an example. I will be showing you like this. What I meant to say is, if you write a into 5, then the output which you will be getting is a. So this was my I was trying to make you understand. Okay, so here in this case also, within quotes I have written this character, and a space also I have given, since after 1 star there is a space also. Okay, and for I in list, that means it will check for, okay, I will take the value as first one. Okay, and then it will print like this, then it will take second. So the iteration will be going on, and you can see the output is printed. Okay, if suppose I'll be showing you one like this, the pattern came out to be like this, hence I chose it like, and we got the result what was expected. Now I'll be showing you with a different method, that is the second method. What I have done for this, without taking any list, I have just used two for loops, and I was able to do that. Okay, so here I have used two for loops. So for range 5, what it is doing is again the same print statement we are doing, but with the help of range function. So it will go all the way from 0 till 4. 5 is not inclusive, so from 0 to 4. So for first time when it is 0th position, that means one time, so it will print one time. Then and so this is the, let me show you by executing this piece of code only. So see, so it printed from here till here. Okay, so firstly from 0, then 0 it will not print anything. Why? Because the number will be printed to like the star will be printed by 0. So 0 nothing means, right? So again it will take 1, then 2, then 3 and 4. So 4 times the star got printed with the space. Now I have used second for loop. What it will do, I will show you this independently. So now if you do a shift enter, see it is taking using a range function, and in range functions, 3 attributes, like 3 parameters can be given. So this is the first, that is the starting point, till where it is going, that is till what number it needs to be iterated, has been written in the second step, and what is the step size. That means after what count of values the value should be like iterated, that is given by our third parameter. Like suppose here I meant to say like this. So if suppose if I write suppose range 1 comma 9, or you suppose 1 comma 10 comma 2. So what it will be assigning the values is like 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. Why? Because the step size is of 2. Okay, so this is the range. This is the range function. Okay, so here this I have explained. Okay, so I will just explain you with this line of code, and you can see this is the result we got. Okay, if suppose, see I will show you the same example with the printf statement. See, when once you wrote the step as -2, so it took the gap of 2 numbers. Okay, and that's why I took the step of -1, so that it should reduce and it should print the value accordingly. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this pattern printing requirement also. If you have some problems, please post your doubt in the comment section. Okay, finally I have scenario number 5, where there was a list example, and I have also used while loop plus if loop combination. Okay, so firstly the requirement was to create an empty list called list. Then we need to ask the user to enter numbers. If after each number is entered, we need to append it to the empty list, and finally the list should be displayed. So this is the requirement till here, and finally the list should be displayed. Now once we have entered 3 numbers, the question should be put to the user that okay, are you trying to save the last number, or you should remove it. If they say no, remove the last item from the list, or else display the list of numbers. This is the like interview requirement, which I was being shared with by someone. Hence I have taken it into our this series. Okay, so what you'll be doing is firstly created an empty list by square brackets. Okay, and for iterating we have taken a variable count which is equal to 0 as of now, and we'll be incrementing it one by one. So in the loop, see, since we are checking for that, okay, once the number of the count of the numbers in the list is equal to 3, then only it should put up the question. So that's why I have written a while loop over here for that. So okay, so in our first line we are getting the input from the user, and we are converting it into a int. Why? Because see, if you are just simply writing this piece of code, the number which you even enter as a number, it will be interpreted by Python as a string, and it will be assigned to the variable as a in the format of string only, in the data type string. It will not be a number. So to like convert it into a number, you will be like typecasting it into int function using int. Okay, so this is the way we will be converting a string to a int type. Okay, once you have entered the number, the user entered the value, it will be appended to the list. That is the list dot append. Append is a method I have already discussed about that. Append is the method using which you can insert the values in the list, and it will be appended to the last index. Okay, so what I have appended, num is the value which we have appended. Now we are counting what count is count equal to, we have incremented the count variable Okay. So as of now, I have not printed list over here. I've just commented that part. What we are checking that, okay, if length of list is equal to 3, okay, just in case if when the list length is equal to 3, then the count should be, the last value question should be put up to the user that, okay, are you wanting, like, are you willing to remove the last element, that is the third element? If the person says no, then do you want to keep the last value inserted? If the person says no, then you need to remove that item and print the list. If the person says yes, I want to keep the value, then don't remove the value and only directly print the list. So I think this was the scenario for fulfilling this requirement. So I'll be just doing a shift enter and I will be showing you that, okay, if suppose I have written 34, enter, 45, enter, 66, enter. See, after entering the third value, it put up the interpreter put up the question that, okay, do you want to keep the last value inserted? If I say no, I will say in capital. So you see the last value, that is 66, was removed and the list was printed. Okay. Again, I will enter the same 34, 45 and 66. Sorry, something got broke out. What happened? 1 minute. I will check that. Okay, it converted to, okay. So once again, I will do shift enter. I will do a 34, 45, 66. Okay, if I say that yes, now this time I will be entering yes. Let's see what happens now. See, now what it happened is, it the 66 value was like saved and it was not popped out. So I think now we are clear, and hope you are also clear with this requirement. And if you have some doubts with all this, any of these scenarios, and in implementing any of these scenarios, please post your doubts in comment section. So I hope like you enjoyed this series, and if you like this content, please hit like, share and subscribe my channel, and even forward it across also. Thanks to all.